Hello everyone, I'm Fábio from Centro Britânico, Barueri. Nice to meet you all. I work there as a teacher and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about business, okay? We're gonna present here our STAR method, and this is about business basically, okay? So I assume you guys have lots of things to face at work, okay, especially meetings, talk to people, present projects and many other things. And I'm gonna give you some tips, okay, of how to have a better performance at your work, okay? So here we're gonna start first. I have a few questions because I believe many of you guys have already faced situations, meetings with people in your department or maybe in your team, okay? And it is important as well to give and to receive some updates when it comes to these meetings. When you have a meeting with someone, for example, you need to know how things are going, right? So let's take a look here at the screen. I've got two questions, which is how often you guys have meetings with people in your department or in your team. Okay, I believe you have this quite often, right? So I believe you guys have lots of meetings and have to face different situations, okay? So let's talk a little bit about a situation then, okay? So I was talking about meetings. So let's imagine the situation here about Ramon, okay? Ramon is leading a department meeting, okay, today. And these, what you see here on the screen are some notes that Ramon made on the discussion he had with these other co-workers, okay? As you can see here at the screen, there are some updates, okay, about the meeting. What does Ramon need to do in this case? Ramon needs to find someone for the post of manager, okay? And for this, he needs to interview some candidates. Here is the date, which is going to be next week. And we always have problems at work, and Ramon also has one here. The first problem he's going to face is that one of his co-workers, Sue, needs someone to help her do these interviews. She's not going to do it by herself, okay? What is the action that they are going to take? Eloise, another co-worker, will do the interviews with Sue, okay? So this is what Ramon made notes about the recruitment, okay? Because he needs to recruit someone for the post of manager, all right? Another situation is the introduction training, okay, for the new frontline staff. So this is going to be done by Xavier, okay? He scheduled an induction training for this new frontline staff, which is going to be the week after next, okay? But there are other two problems this time, okay? What are the problems? Sue and Ramon, the one who was leading the department meeting, will be away on holiday, okay? And there is an extra problem, which is Eloise. She is not going to be possible. She is not going to afford to do that, okay? She can't do it. And what is the action taken? Derek, okay, another co-worker, is going to do this introduction training, okay? So the responsibility is going to be on Derek here, all right? So this is our situation, our first situation, okay? So let's imagine that everything you guys can see here on the screen is happening. I mean, have already happened, okay, in a conversation, in a meeting, all right? For a next step, we need to know, okay, some target language. This is important. How am I going to ask for updates or give updates of what's going on, okay? and delegate also. I need to give orders, to talk to my employees, to my co-workers, and I need to delegate. So how am I supposed to do that if I don't know language? All right, so this is the objective here of this demo lesson. All right, I am going to present some target language here to help you all with this. So what have we got here as target language, guys? So we have different situations. First, asking for an update, okay? These are some options of how you can ask for an update. So what are the options I wrote here? The first one, can you update me on something? Okay. What's the progress on? How's everything going on? Where are we with? Okay. So how can I continue these sentences? If you guys take a look at the previous page, okay, we can use these annotations made by Ramon to complete the sentences, okay? So what is the first situation about the recruitment? So I want to know what is the update, okay? So what am I supposed to do and what my coworkers have for me? So here is how we can start asking people, all right? So imagine you are at the meeting and then you ask your coworkers, okay guys, so we are here today to talk about the recruitment process. And John, can you update me on this recruitment process, please? So what about the interviews? Okay, so this is a possibility, all right? Or what's the progress on the recruitment process? Okay, so what's the progress on the interviews? So how everything is going on, okay? Or maybe the last option there, where are we with the recruitment process? Okay, any news about the interviews? Who is going to be the responsible for that? Okay, another situation is to give the updates. So if you are going to give the update, so here are some options, okay? We've done, we've finished, or we've completed the recruitment process, for example. Okay, so when something is finished, there are three different options here you guys can use. Done, finished, completed, okay? Another option is so far, so good. But this option right here gives the idea that the process is still going on, okay? So far, so good. Or maybe everything's on track, so everything is okay, is going well, okay, is doing fine. Or we're currently working on something, okay? So imagine something is not finished, and then you can say that you are still currently, or you are still working on that. Oh, so we are still working on the processing of recruitment because it's a bit difficult to find qualified candidates for this position, okay? Then we have some other options here of language, which is to delegate if you need to give orders, to ask someone, ask people to do something for you, okay? Here are some options, okay? We have then, is that something you can help with? Can anyone else help you? So in the case of Eloise or Sue, okay, in the previous slide again, okay, Sue cannot do the interviews by herself. She cannot do them alone, okay? So this is a possibility. If she talks to you, who is the leader, okay, and she says that she's not able to do everything by herself, this is a good moment to use one of these target language here. Oh, can anyone else help you? Oh, maybe Eloise from the other department. Okay, she will be free next week. Okay, so here are some options then, okay, of how to delegate. Then, of course, sometimes we may accept, okay, what is delegated to us, and sometimes we are not able to do that. So we are going to refuse, but of course, politely, okay? We should do this always politely, using a bit of formal language. And here are some other options, okay? The first one is, yes, no problem. I'll do it, in case you accept this wonderful offer, okay? The other one is, oh, I'm afraid I can't do it, in case you are a bit busy, okay, or you have other things to do. Or if you can do it, but there are some problems on the track and you need to let your boss or the leader know about, okay, so I do it, but there are a few things that I need to finish first, such as, and then you give some examples, okay? And finally, it is the summing up the action plan, okay? So there is always the action plan. So after the meeting, after talking to everybody, you need to sum up what actions are going to be taken, okay, in this case. So let's start with the first example I've got here. So imagine you are meeting everyone again, and you need to ask for update and see what's going on, what you guys are going to do, what actions are going to be taken, okay? So let's check we all know what we are doing. Or let's check we all know what we're doing about the recruitment process. Is everything okay? Is all set? Can you guys update me on that? Or maybe you are going to do this and I am going to do this other thing. Okay, still delegating a few things, but summing up all the delegations, everything that was delegated, that was told previously, you guys at this moment of the meeting, you are just summarizing, okay? It's like briefly, shortly, you guys are going to decide what everyone is going to do exactly, okay? And if another meeting is necessary for the situation, you can simply use this last command here. Let's meet again in 2 weeks to review the situation or to review the progress, if everybody has news, good news or bad news, okay? So that's basically the target language that I need to start at least working on that, working on asking for updates or giving updates and delegating, okay? So I hope this was helpful, all right? Moving on, after presenting this target language, we need to practice and know how we can use this properly, okay? And for this, there are other situations. So here I have a problem, okay? We always have problems, and my problem here is that one you guys can see on the screen, okay? So let's imagine two students, student A and student B. They are going to work together. So I am student A, and my partner here, my invisible partner, is going to be the student B, okay? So let's imagine that I am in charge of a project, like they're saying here. My partner is in charge of another project, the project you guys can see, project number 2 on the screen. And what am I supposed to do? I need to call my partner, give him an update about the project I have in hands, which is this one, project number 1, okay? What is my project? Organizing a 2-day training session for staff, okay? This is what I've got to do. So I am going to give my partner the update on this, and my partner is going to update me about project number 2. okay, which is the one he is in charge. So, what is my project? Again, organizing a 2-day training session for staff. So, what do I need? What pieces of information I've got here? The first piece of information I've got is this one. A venue for training session, okay? So, the room apparently here is already booked, all right? So, I need to give this update to my partner, okay? So, how am I supposed to do that? Well, if I am just giving an update, I can say, okay, so far, so good. The rooms are already booked, okay? So, I've already selected the venue. What's the venue? The place, the location where everything is going to happen, okay? This training session in the case. We also need hotel for trainers, okay? The hotel is going to be Victoria Hotel. This Victoria Hotel has some available rooms, and I'm still trying to negotiate a discount. How can I update my partner about that? Using the target language as well. Well, everything is on track, but there is one thing that I'm still negotiating. I need some discount because this Victoria Hotel is a little bit expensive. They have available rooms for the trainers, but I'm still negotiating that. So I haven't done everything about that. Then, what is the next piece of information I've got here? About lunch. None was done so far, so there's no lunch. So I need someone to book caterers and negotiate payment. So I will have to delegate this to my partner because I can't do that. So how am I supposed to do that? Using the target language. Do you guys remember the target language we talked about to delegate? Let's check the examples again. Is that something you can help with? Can anyone else help you? Would you like to would you like to help with that? And I'd like you to help. If I am going to delegate this about lunch, so I can start using the last target language of that list, okay? Oh, I'd like you to book caterers and negotiate payment with these people, okay? So this is a good situation in which you can connect the two pieces of sentence here, okay? I'd like you to help with booking caterers and negotiate payment, okay? So I am connecting the target language with the problem here, okay? So this is how we can build structures in English, okay? We've got chunks, pieces of sentences, and then we connect them, okay? So this is basically how it works. Other pieces of information I've got here. Information pack for trainees. Need to ask trainers to send schedule and summary of training session. Another moment we can use to delegate and use the target language to delegate this other piece of information, okay? Then we have the other project, okay? After talking about all of these things with your partner, we have the second project, okay? The second project is about raising money for a local children's charity. So it is a different situation, right? Here is organizing a 2-day training, and here raising money for local children's charity. So two completely different situations, okay? So what am I supposed to do being the other student, okay? The other partner. So the other partner needs to basically update ask for updates about the project. Okay? So if I am going to ask updates related to that, we have here the questions. Okay? So posters and leaflets, 10-kilometer sponsored run, charity sale, and any other information that might be necessary. Okay? So if I have this first piece of information, posters and leaflet, it means that I know nothing about that. So I need some update on this. So asking for an update again. Can you update me on posters and leaflets? So how is this part being? How is this going on? Okay? So what's the progress on posters and leaflets? Is there anything ready? Have you guys got logos or something like this? Or how's everything going on? Okay? So these are some possibilities. Then we go back there. 10-kilometer sponsored run. Apparently, there's going to be a 10-kilometer run sponsored, okay, by a company maybe. And I want to know how this is going on. So what about the sponsored run? What's the progress on the sponsored run, on the 10-kilometer sponsored run? Where are we with the 10-kilometer sponsored run? Okay, so these are all possibilities we can use, different possibilities, to talk about sometimes the same thing. Okay, charity sale. So is there anything about charity sale? Yes, there is. So I need to know information about that. Where are we with the charity sale? Any news? Oh, well, we are currently working on that, but I promise that within a week I may have some good news. And can you update me on the sponsored run? Oh, the sponsored run, this is completely finished. Okay, so we've finished. Oh, and what about, what's the progress on posters and leaflets? Well, posters and leaflets, so far so good. There are still other companies that I'd like to talk about to see if they have better prices, but so far so good. We have two possible companies that have good prices, so I'm still deciding about them. Okay, so basically a few things are not decided yet, so another meeting, another reunion might be necessary. If so, there is the summing up action plan language here, okay, which is the last sentences, because a few things are not done. For example, the leaflets and the posters, because I'm still deciding about the companies I am going to hire. And then another meeting might be necessary to talk about that. And then you can use some of the language. Oh, so let's meet again in 2 weeks to review the situation of the posters and the leaflets, okay? You are going to find someone to design the logo, and I am going to talk to these two companies that you said you were in two minds about, okay? These are some of the actions, okay, that can be taken in the end of the meeting, in the end of the session. After having a second meeting to finally talk about the action plan, okay, we can go to this last part right here, which is the outcome, the results of the final meeting, okay? Basically, this is how it works. When we need to present something, when we have meetings, different situations require different target language, okay? Sometimes different combinations of words, and it is necessary to study different situations, of course. So we must have always a situation, the target language, and we practice with problems to be solved, okay? So this is what we do in this method, okay? We use the language that is being presented and try to solve problems with the language. I hope this was useful to you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna check if there are any questions here in our chat.
Yes. And
You can also ask questions in Portuguese, okay, guys? Don't worry about that.
here a question from Cido Rodrigues. Are there specific terms for example, following up delegated tasks?
If there are questions,
Specific terms.
specific terms,
For instance, to following up on delegated task.
well, there might be some extra language here, for example, delegating. This language that I am presenting here are just examples, okay? A few options of how you could ask someone to do something for you. But there are other follow-up questions that we can use depending on the situation. This is going to depend on what your employee is answering you. So it depends on various situations, but there are other follow-up questions for sure. Let me see here. Can anyone else help you? Imagine you are asking an employee if there's someone else to help him or her with a certain task, and they say, oh, no, everybody's busy this week, and then you are going to ask another follow-up. So would you like to have someone to help you with this? I am going to figure something out. So it depends on the situation, like I said. It depends on what people is answering or how they are going to react, if they are going to accept what you're asking them, what you are delegating, if they are going to refuse. So that will depend. But this is something that it can be worked according to what students propose. If the student comes with the situation, I am going to work on that situation, and I will probably find other possibilities and other solutions. For example, these follow-up questions when it comes to delegating. Okay? I don't know if it is answered, a good answer, but I hope I could help. All right. So basically, guys, this is it. Okay. I'd like to thank you all for being here. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed. And this is it. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.